And the encoder immediately lags out. I should have expected that. I should have expected that. Although I guess we do know is that when the encoders are maxed out, it's actually about 33% of the entire codec tab. That's good to know. So 10 and 20% should then be barely okay. What the heck? Actually, wait, what? Yeah, what? If it can do 30%, if 30% corresponds to the actual encoder component, then this should be fine. And actually now it's not lagging. I mean, I'm not doing anything, but now it's not lagging. Why does it process double the frames? It says it's taking about up to 15 milliseconds to process a frame. 30 FPS is how many? 30 FPS to milliseconds. 33. Okay, so the time to render a frame needs to stay below 33 milliseconds. Then it can sustain 30 FPS. Alternatively, wait, if I increased... Well, actually, I guess it should be under 15. Or sorry. Because if you go anywhere past 15 or half the time it takes, the time between frames, then you might lose a frame and have to send it on the next timing. So it has to actually be below 15 milliseconds, where this processor can't necessarily sustain that. Okay. Let's try playing a video again and seeing if it craps out or not. There must be some sort of shared resource between the encoder and decoder. I mean, there obviously must be, but it must be significant, because just playing a video, of course this is a 4K video, does a lot. Like it adds it adds anywhere between 2 to like 8 milliseconds to the render time. The video is also dropping frames too. How much... I wonder how much people would care if I streamed off the computer at like 20 FPS or 24 FPS or something. Because if it's 24 FPS, okay, so I don't think the render time is going past 20 milliseconds. Which I think is 25 FPS, right? 20 milliseconds to FPS. Is that right? I don't think that's right, actually. Well, actually, let me put it this way. 25 FPS to milliseconds. As long as you stream... Well, you know, I want to be... Okay. Actually, this is easy. So I do 1 divided by 25, right? That's how long... That's 0.04. That's 0.04 seconds, which is 40 milliseconds. Yeah. So 40 milliseconds. So if a frame is ready within 20 milliseconds, then there will always be a new frame ready to be displayed, or to be sent. And I'm staying below. So basically what I'm saying is that if I make the stream, if they make the main stream at 25 FPS, not 30 FPS, then it's okay if it takes 25 milliseconds, or it's okay if it takes 15 to 20 milliseconds to render a frame, because there will always still be, you'll never be caught in between frame like display timings, but not have a new frame. Um, oh, but that still means that the recording may still have dropped frames. Or will it? I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Again, the ideal scenario is I stream at 720. Well, wait. Maybe that's, well, that'd be pretty hard to watch. I was saying I was going to question that fundamental thing and maybe just stream it at like 480p. But that's pretty low for streaming. I think 720p is already kind of cutting it in terms of viewability. Yeah. Let's see. At the very least, the codec works now, which is great. I don't know what the issue was before, but at least the codec works now. Oh, excuse me. Oh, moving the actually watching the video is fine, but moving like the window around, that's causing a lot of lag. What the heck? Company in the future. Oh, you mean like a VTuber agency? I'm planning to apply again in the future if it's a VTuber agency. I just want to do it after I've developed somewhat of a portfolio, which again, as you can see, I haven't really done recently. In terms of other jobs, I'm looking around, but I think at least for another year, I'm gonna be thinking about grad school more than uh than working in industry. Yeah, so Chrome is super fucking laggy. It still stays under that though, so maybe the encoder is working a little better. Let's see. Yeah, but if I move Chrome around a lot, like tab around a lot, I do get noticeable lag. Yeah. I wish I had a little bit of overhead. Because we're cutting it pretty close. So I guess it's saying that it's not dropping any frames over the network, but I guess it must be dropping frames in the recording, which is perhaps a little annoying. But maybe that's acceptable because it's sub 1% of the frames. It's like 0.01 or 0.02. Yeah. Do you have any part-time job? The only job I have is well, I work at the university, right? Or sorry, I still work at the university in that research group, right? So my research is essentially my job at the moment. It won't be forever. They expect me to either go to grad school or get a job at some point, but at least for the short term, like next year or so, doing research is basically my job. Yeah. And this is the same research I talked about before with the using lasers to measure action potentials. Um, yeah, so maybe I do just try it like this. It's acceptable performance, I think. Admittedly, I'm not actively doing anything. I'm just playing this video, so perhaps it's not actually acceptable performance. But let's say I tried to open Ableton, for example. How many? Oh, yeah. Do you get paid? Yeah, they pay me decent. Not a lot, but they pay me, I think, well enough, especially, for someone of my qualifications. I think they pay me well more than enough. Uh, yeah. Let's see, authorized later. Well, actually, so they pay me when I remember to clock hours. Sometimes I forget to clock in, so I don't get those hours, but it's okay. The thing with working in research is the reality is you're authorized for something like 20 hours a week, but you really work more like 40. That's just kind of how research is. Like it's counted as 20 hours because that's what their staff allocation is and whatever. But in reality, you just work until the experiment works, right? So you get paid like a part-time job, but you work like a full-time job, it's just how it is. Yeah. But anyway. Yeah. All right, so like opening Ableton, like scrolling through and stuff, I think this is actually working decently fine. Next stream being like donate. I don't have that kind of money, do you? Like I barely have enough money, just paying my own tuition, man. Or not paying but paying my own rent, man. Like, I don't know. Wow, that's loud. It's not what I wanted to do. It's how do I lower the volume? All right. Okay, so like... Okay, so using Ableton Live and kind of scrolling around, this isn't having issues running in parallel. Okay, this is good, this is good. I think we can just get away with this. I think we can just get away with using the hardware encoder for everything. The only part where I think it's going to be questionable is if I tried to do DaVinci Resolve with GPU encoding. Well, actually, wait, no, it would be... Oh, yeah, no, the encoder is going to be totally messed up if I try to do that. So that's probably the only time I need to watch out. But I don't think anything else has an issue. Yes, okay, yeah. I was kidding. Well, you never know. I mean, once I make it big and I have like 10 quadrillion subscribers and I'm Hololive's, #1 talent, when that eventually totally will happen, of course, trust me, you know, then I probably will have enough money to do that, right? You can't don't count it out just yet, right? Yeah. Once 90% of the world population, watches my content, I'll probably be making all that mad ad revenue, right? And you can't count it out just yet, but